Hello, little toads. Chapter 3 of Soup on Ice. What is that picture? It looks like a portent of things to come. Anyway, this chapter is one of my very favorites in the book. And let's see what this is all about here. "I'll use this one," said Soup. It was Saturday morning, and the two of us were standing on Miss Witherspoon's front porch, close to town. "You work the other one," Soup added. We had brought 2 snow shovels with us, but I noticed real quick that Soup intended to use the smaller shovel. "How come?" I asked him. "Because," said Soup, "you're good at shoveling, and I'm better at edging. Besides, you're the boss, and a boss always goes first to lead the way." During the night, more snow had fallen, which to Soup and me meant one thing: we could earn ourselves some quick Christmas money by clearing sidewalks for people, especially old ladies like Miss Witherspoon. Earlier, she had informed Soup and me that all she really needed was a narrow path, one that would enable her to go back and forth from her house to her mailbox, which stood half buried in the road. "You go first," Soup suggested, "and I'll sort of follow along behind to make sure our edges are even." "Okay," I sighed. The first load of snow didn't feel too heavy on my shovel, neither did the second or third, but the fourth was heavier. The fifth and sixth were stubborn, and the seventh weighed near to half a ton. I guess he's getting tired. Pausing for breath, I looked back over my shoulder to see Soup sitting on the porch's top step. "Rob, old top, you're doing just great." "But you're not going at all," I told Soup, noticing that he hadn't even rearranged one flake of snow. "You really can shovel snow, Uncle Barney." As I was a bit confused, I looked at Soup. "Hey," I asked him, "how come you called me Uncle Barney instead of Rob?" "Oh, sorry. It's the way you shovel. You sure do remind me of my Uncle Barney," said Soup. "Yep, you certain do. Uncle Barney was the champion snow shoveler in the entire state of Vermont." "Honest?" Soup nodded. "Throw another load. I want to watch to see if your style is really champion form." So what do you think, little toads? Do you think possibly that Rob is being, kind of played for a chump here by his good old pal Soup? Kind of sounds like it to me. I tossed away more snow. "Nope," said Soup, "you don't quite have Uncle Barney's smooth delivery. I reckon anybody could see why. It's the grip on a shovel that starts a boy up that famous path which will lead to becoming a state champion. Uncle Barney showed me his secret." "What secret?" I asked Soup. My pal slowly got up from the seat on Miss Witherspoon's porch, stretched, and then strolled my way. I wondered why he didn't bother to bring along his shovel. "Rob," he said, "if I thought you'd be serious about training, I'd be willing to be your coach." Soup shook his head. "But you probably aren't interested in becoming a state champ like Uncle Barney. You'd have to lug home a big silver trophy and maybe get kissed by Norma Jean Bissell." Kissed by Norma Jean? The thought made me forget how cold I was. I suddenly felt stronger and taller. "Not every kid can handle fame," Soup went on to say. "Besides, the secret of becoming a state champion is so doggone simple that you'd probably just laugh at it." "No, I wouldn't," I told Soup. "Come on, what's your Uncle Barney's secret? I gotta know." Hands on his hips, Soup looked at the snow in front of me. Then he grinned. "It's all in the grip." "The grip?" "Right. Keep your right hand on the top end of the shovel, but slide your left hand way down near the load. Like this? Good. Now throw a load or two and notice how much faster you can shovel." I threw a load of snow. "One more," Soup told me, "but this time haul your left hand about an inch closer." Throwing another load, I asked, "Is this right?" "Sort of. Your grip looks a mite improved. The trouble is in your swing." "What's wrong with my swing?" Soup sighed. "I don't guess you know about rhythm count. You're not counting as you work. Champions usually do." Leaning on my shovel, I stared at Soup. Perhaps, I was thinking, his Uncle Barney really was the state champion of all snow shovelers. Try it again, Soup said, only this time divide your stroke into 4 beats. How? 1. Shove your shovel under the snow as far as it'll go so as you'll heft up a full load. 2. Pick it up by using your legs and bending your knees a bit. 3. Chuck the snow to one side using swing. 4. Bring back the empty shovel. The way Soup explained, it certainly sounded simple enough to master. Maybe if I got real good at it, I'd be the state champ someday, just like Soup's Uncle Barney. Don't think about the work, said Soup. You have to concentrate on the counting. So to make it quicker for you to get the hang of it, we'll merely divide the problem. You handle the shovel and I'll count. Ready? Do you see what's going on here? Ready, I said. Now don't start, Soup said, until I give you the signal at the count of 1. Get yourself set. Be sure to brace your feet proper and concentrate on rhythm. Okay, I told Soup as I braced my feet, my mittens taking a fresh purchase on the shovel's handle. 1, said Soup. My shovel plunged forward. 2, I lifted an extra heavy load. 3, the shovel swung left, depositing the snow into higher territory. 4, twisting my body back to normal position, I was about to turn around to check with Soup to ask whether or not I'd mastered the rhythm. But before I could rest my shovel, I heard Soup counting again, so I shoveled some more. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's almost perfect. 1, 2, 3, 4. Great. Now just a speck faster and with a bigger load. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 4. 1, 4. 1, 4. Even though my back was near to breaking, I couldn't seem to force myself to quit. All I could hear was Soup's counting as I pretended I was winning a trophy as a champion snow shoveler. My shovel seemed to be half beast, half machine, as the snow almost flew from Miss Witherspoon's sidewalk. Somewhere in my imagination, a crowd was cheering me on to victory, and Norma Jean Bissell was blowing me kisses. 1, 2, 3, 4. Thunk! The forward edge of my shovel bumped into something that felt quite hard. I looked up and saw that it was the post of Miss Witherspoon's mailbox. Turning around and almost fainting from fatigue, I saw that Soup was smiling. Rob, I'd give almost anything in the world if my Uncle Barney could see you shovel snow. I bet he'd declare you the next champion right here and now. As my breath slowly returned, I helped myself to a fresh slab of thinking. Soup hadn't performed too much edging. In fact, none at all. But I did all the work, Soup. Never mind that, said Soup, because I'm your personal coach from now on. No, I don't guess I'll win any of the glory. You'll be the one who has to take the big silver trophy home. Not me, but you've got to make me a promise, Rob. Yeah, what's that? When you finally win your silver trophy as the new state champion, you'll at least mention the fact that I'm your coach and give me a tiny little share of your victory. I smiled. Sure, I said. As I collapsed back into a bank of snow, Soup stood there with a grin on his face. It was sort of strange, I was thinking, because Soup wasn't going to be the state champion or win a trophy. I was. Something caught my eye. It turned out to be Miss Witherspoon in her winter coat and galoshes, coming out of her front door and carrying her pocketbook. She paused, inspecting our hurried and edgeless job, then came to where Soup and I were at her roadside mailbox. As she opened her pocketbook, Soup extended his hand in an eager gesture for our reward, but that was when Soup Vincent was rewarded with nothing but a cold glare from Miss Witherspoon. Here you are, Robert, she said, handing me a whole quarter. Good job. I watched you do it all from my window, and you deserve all the money. As he heard her, my pal's mouth fell open. Miss Witherspoon, Soup asked her, don't I get anything? Miss Witherspoon nodded. Oh, indeed you do, Luther. Soup started to grin until she pointed to the snow-covered sidewalks next door. Looking at Soup, she smiled. What do I get? Soup asked her. On somebody else's sidewalk, she said sweetly. you get another chance. And that is the end of chapter 3, where Soup, or Luther, as his real name was, Vincent, definitely fooled Rob into doing all the work on that sidewalk. It was really a good thing that Miss Witherspoon saw what was going on and gave Rob the whole quarter, 25 cents for that job. Things have changed.